Good afternoon. We are ready to rock and roll with another Breaktraders afternoon show. Very excited to get rocking and rolling. Today's show is brought to you by the Alive Rescue in Memphis. The Magnum PIT right there. Magnum PIT, you can learn more about that rescue right there. And we are going to rock and roll with our first break, 1009, which will be a Chronicles draft picks and Luminance mixer. T-Man, if you get a chance, I shot you a text message. Feel free to text that. Alrighty. I'm ready. You're ready. We are all ready. Here we go. This is break 1009, the 2021 Chronicles Draft Picks and Luminance 2-box mixer. So we will open up both of these right off the bat. Got the 4 packs of Luminance right there. We're going to have the 6 packs of Chronicles up next. Hopefully you can hear me better. For some reason that microphone was tipped over, but it is fixed now. All right, we are gonna rock and roll starting up. Yep, that closed last night, and it is posted on our YouTube channel. In addition, you can still get into more Prism breaks today with that same code. Still running that discount for y'all. We have the filler card right there. And then right off the bat, we have a quarterback, and it is Kellen Mond of the Minnesota Vikings. And that is going to Michael, followed up by Travis Etienne of the Jacksonville Jaguars, heading to Robert. Trevor Lawrence of the Jaguars as well, going to Robert. And then we have Javonte Williams of the Denver Broncos, headed to Mr. CEO, followed by Chris Evans of the Houston Texans, I believe. Let me just double check that. No, the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's going to Will. Then we have Chubba Hubbard of the Carolina Panthers, going to Matthew, and a Jamar Chase, this one out of 149, the Flux out of 149 of the Bengals, going to Will. And it looks like we have an auto right off the bat. It's going to be an Origins auto, and it is Gregory Rousseau of the Buffalo Bills, and that is going to Timothy. Nice hit right there, not numbered, but a nice strong auto from a first-round pick. We have a Travis Etienne of the Jacksonville Jaguars, followed by Trevor Lawrence of the Jags as well. Both of those going to Robert. Then we have Jamie Newman of the Eagles, and that is going to be going to Will, followed up by another Trevor Lawrence. It's just the Trevor Lawrence break of the Jags, going to Robert, and then a Devonta Smith out of 149 of the Eagles, headed to Will. Next up, we have Javian Hawkins of the Atlanta Falcons, and that is going to Will as well. And then Nico Collins of the Houston Texans, heading to Cynthia. All right, now we're down to 4. As soon as we do this auto, we'll be down to 4, and this is a Chubba Hubbard, and that is out of 5. Out of 5 for the Carolina Panthers. going to Matthew. 4 out of 5. Nice hit right there. What a pretty, pretty card. And we're on to our first Luminance of the evening, or of the afternoon. We have Cameron Jordan of the Saints, Amari Cooper of the Cowboys, Tyler Lockett of the Seattle Seahawks, Carson Wentz of the Colts. Then we have a Brandon Ayuk out of 299 of the San Francisco 49ers going to Josh. And then a Jamal Adams lights out of the Seattle Seahawks going to Harry. Next up, we have Whop Filer of the Minnesota Vikings going to Michael, followed up by Joseph Osai of the Cincinnati Bengals headed to Will, and Davis Mills of the Houston Texans, possibly their starting quarterback this year, going to Cynthia. And then we have our first one, and it's going to be some points that we'll have to randomize here at the end of the break. Always disappointing to get those points in lieu of an autograph, for sure. We have Mac Jones of the New England Patriots going to Christopher. Trevor Lawrence of the Jaguars headed to Robert. Najee Harris of the Steelers headed to Jake. And then we have a Jamar Chase out of 99. That's 8 out of 99. And that is going to be a Cincinnati Bengal going to Will. Then we have the filler right there. Next up, it is a Javonte Williams of the Denver Broncos going to Mr. CEO. Rashad Bateman of the Baltimore Ravens going to Christina. Another Trevor Lawrence, this one a silver-rated rookie of the Jags going to Robert. And Rashad Bateman again of the Baltimore Ravens going to Christina. DeAndre Hopkins of the Cardinals, followed by Josh Jacobs of the Raiders. Russell Wilson of the Seahawks. Then we have David Johnson of the Houston Texans, followed up by a Josh Jacobs 20 out of 35. Nice hit right there. 20 out of 35. Josh Jacobs of the Raiders going to Mr. CEO. Then we have the Flash, C.D. Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys headed to Cynthia. And then we have a Kadarius Toney of the New York Giants going to be going to Harry, followed by Daz Newsome of the Indianapolis Colts. Daz Newsome, or of the Chicago Bears. Sorry, I misspoke there. And that is going to Robert. Followed by Elijah Moore of the New York Jets. And that is going to be going to Steve. And then we have an auto, and it is going to be an on Carter, and that is Kwity Paye right there. Kwity Paye of the Indianapolis Colts with the on-card auto going to Michael. And we are having ourselves a little bit of a break right now. Little bit of a break for sure. We have a Rashad Bateman of the Baltimore Ravens, followed by Javonte Williams of the Denver Broncos, and Travis Etienne of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's going to Robert. Then another Travis Etienne, this one of the Jaguars, going to Robert, followed by Justin Fields. Justin Fields, the Recon edition of the Chicago Bears going to Robert. Mac Jones of the New England Patriots, and then Gregory Rousseau of the Buffalo Bills. And then we're going to have our memorabilia / auto. We'll see what it is. And it is going to be Mr. Kellen Mond with the substantial swatch of the Minnesota Vikings going to Michael. Kellen Mond of the Minnesota Vikings. Alrighty, 2 packs left of each. We have Chase Young of the Washington Football Team, Matt Stafford of the Rams, Christian McCaffrey of the Panthers, a Jalen Phillips 22 out of 25 of the Miami Dolphins heading to Cynthia. Following that up with a Jamie Newman of the Philadelphia Eagles, and that is out of 299. Next up, we have a Savage, the Brandon Ayuk Savage of the San Francisco 49ers going to Josh, followed up by Mr. Ian Book of the New Orleans Saints headed to Harry, Jamie Newman of the Eagles again. This one going to Will, and the Jason Owa from Penn State and now of the Baltimore Ravens, and that's going to Christina. And then we have a memorabilia, and it is going to be a jumbo Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys headed to Cynthia. Speaking of Cynthia, remember this show brought to you by Alive Rescue in Memphis. Alive Rescue in Memphis, and you can learn more there. Or if you're feeling kind, you can always donate. The filler right there, followed up by Rashad Bateman of the Ravens going to Christina. Justin Fields of the Bears right there headed to Robert, followed by Tylan Wallace of the Ravens going to Christina as well. And then we have Chitarius Tutu Atwell of the Los Angeles Rams going to Harry. Zach Wilson of the New York Jets going to Steve. Trey Sermon of the San Francisco 49ers going to Josh. And Chris Evans of the Cincinnati Bengals going to Will. And then our auto is going to be Dylan Moses of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that is going to be headed to Robert. And we have 2 packs left. Alvin Kamara of the Saints, CeeDee Lamb of the Cowboys, DK Metcalf of the Seahawks, Darius Leonard of the Colts, a Patrick Mahomes of the Chiefs out of 299, and that's going to be headed to Stacy. We have our auto right there. Then we have a House Calls DK Metcalf of the Seattle Seahawks going to Harry, followed up by Terry Tamarin of the Seahawks going to Harry as well. Seth Williams of the Denver Broncos going to Mr. CEO, and Michael Carter of the New York Jets going to be going to Steve. And here we go. Our last auto of the Luminance is going to be Chris Evans out of 349 of the Cincinnati Bengals. Chris Evans out of 349 of the Bengals. And now we're on to the last pack of Chronicles. Doesn't look like we have an auto in there. Seth Williams of the Denver Broncos heading to Mr. CEO, followed by Justin Fields. The Justin Fields score of the Chicago Bears going to Robert. Najee Harris of the Steelers headed to Jake. And Justin Fields again of the Bears going to Robert. Then we've got an Illusions Devonta Smith of the Philadelphia Eagles, and that is going to be going to Will, followed by Caleb Farley of the Tennessee Titans, heading to Mr. CEO. And then we have a silver rated rookie, and that is Zachary Wilson from Brigham Young University, and now your quarterback of the New York Jets, going to Steve. And then we have Chubba Hubbard of the Carolina Panthers, going to Matthew. Alrighty, let's randomize these points. The 150 Panini points will be the first randomization of the day. Ten times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And it's going to be going to Cynthia. Cynthia getting those Panini points. And now let's run down our featured rookies. We have Zach Wilson of the Jets, Devonta Smith of the Eagles, Justin Fields of the Bears, Najee Harris of the Steelers, Justin Fields again, Zach Wilson again, Justin Fields again, the Jamie Newman out of 299 of the Eagles, Ian Book of the Saints, Gregory Rousseau of the Buffalo Bills, Mac Jones of the Patriots, Justin Fields Recon Edition, Travis Etienne of the Jaguars, Travis Etienne Base Chronicles, Kadarius Toney of the Giants, followed by a Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then we got a Jamar Chase out of 99 for the Cincinnati Bengals, Najee Harris again, Trevor Lawrence again, Mac Jones again, Davis Mills, the starting quarterback of the potentially starting quarterback of the Houston Texans, going to Cynthia. The red Devonta Smith out of 149 of the Eagles, the Illusions Trevor Lawrence, the Chronicles base Trevor Lawrence, the Prestige Travis Etienne, the red Jamar Chase Flux out of 149, and that is 8 out of 149 right there. Followed up by Trevor Lawrence again of the Jags, Travis Etienne of the score version, and Kellen Mond of the Minnesota Vikings. Alrighty, and on to our featured cards. All right. First, a numbered, we have the 22 out of 25 Jalen Phillips of the Miami Dolphins, headed to Cynthia. Then our two memorabilias, we have Mr. Kellen Mond of the Minnesota Vikings going to Michael, and Dak Prescott, the jumbo of the Dallas Cowboys, going to Cynthia. And then some autos. We have the Chris Evans out of 349, the Dylan Moses origins, and the Gregory Rousseau origins. Chris Evans of the Bengals headed to Will, Greg Rousseau of the Buffalo Bills headed to Timothy, and Dylan Moses of the Jaguars heading to Robert. Then we have our on-carder. This is Kwity Paye of the Indianapolis Colts going to Michael. And then, last but not least, it's a mag, and it is Chubba Hubbard of the Carolina Panthers with the 4 of 5 Origins auto. And that is going to be going to Matthew, and that is the end of break 1009. We will be right back from BT Field. We are back from Breaktraders Field with some Diamond Kings. That's not where Roxy came from. I'm in Rochester, New York. She just came from the local shelter here. Alrighty. We've got a lot of teams to auction off in Diamond Kings, so we're going to do it as quickly as possible in packs of 7. packs of 7. Alrighty. The first pack of 7. The first pack of 7 is going to be the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Baltimore Orioles, the Chicago Cubs, the Chicago White Sox, the Cincinnati Reds, Cleveland, and the Colorado Rockies. We're going to start the bidding at $5, and it will be in increments of $1. $5 from Harry. $5 from Harry. Do we have 6? $7 from Mr. CEO. 7 from Mr. CEO. Do we have 8? Do we have 8? 8 from Doug. 8 from Doug. Doug, great to see you today. I'm not sure if you got some solid hits and break 1,000 last night or not. 8 from Doug. Do we have $9? Do we have $9 for this Diamondbacks, Orioles, Cubs, White Sox, Reds, Cleveland, and the Colorado Rockies 7-pack of teams? We're going to start the countdown. 30 seconds on the clock. The high bid remaining at the end will be the winning bid. $10 from Jay. 10 from Jay. $12 from Mr. CEO. Mr. CEO takes it with 12. The PayPal link is in the chat, but we're going to have 2 more 7-packs to go, so you may want to wait. And the next one is going to be the Astros, the Royals, the Dodgers, Marlins, Brewers, Mets, and Athletics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll start the bidding for that at $5, and that will be in increments of $1 as well. $5 from Mr. CEO, 8 from Jay, and 10 from Doug. This one, obviously, a little more exciting for the players. 10 from Doug. Do we have 11? Do we have 12? Maybe 13? 12 from Michael. 12 from Michael. We are going to start this countdown. 12 from Michael is the high bid. And we'll start the countdown right now. 30 seconds are on the clock. And we have Doug in the lead. Doug in the lead with 15. Just got it in before Mr. CEO. $17 from Mr. CEO. 17 from Mr. CEO for this 7-pack as well. All right. Last but not least, it's going to be the Phillies, the Pirates, the Mariners, the Rays, Rangers, Blue Jays, and Nationals. And again, that bidding will start at $5 and will go in increments of $1. $5 for Mr. CEO to get this bidding started. $9 from Cynthia. $12 from Doug. Do we have 13? 13 from Cynthia. Do we have 14 or 15 even? You know, we will draw it out with the countdown. 30 seconds are on the clock. Five seconds. Alrighty, Doug has it. Doug has it. As you can see right there, Doug got it with 16 just before Mr. CEO. And folks, you know what to do. Drop the link in the PayPal. Drop the link in PayPal. And here we go, folks. We are going to get into our next keyword giveaway. Next keyword giveaway, which is jury. It's going to be jury. So you'll have 1 minute to guess the show based on the clues that are already listed. How I Met Your Mother is incorrect. Judge Judy, incorrect. Law and Order, incorrect. The Firm, incorrect. Alrighty. I believe keyword movie giveaway guessing, show keyword giveaway guessing is... What'd you say? Sorry. One second. Alrighty, we are all set. Here we go. This is break 1010, the 2021 Diamond Kings one box pick your team. We have Freddie Freeman of the Braves, Daniel Johnson, RC of the Cleveland baseball team, going to Mr. CEO. Then we have Trevor Story, who lives, who dies, who tells your story, of the Rockies, followed by Estevan Florial of the Yankees. And then it's going to be a little gray portrait, and that is Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees. And that is going to be going to Derek. Not planning on running a snake today, unless we have 8 people that would be interested in it, and then I can go look at what we could possibly do. Then we have the Elegance Trey Turner of the Washington Nationals going to Doug, followed up by Nick Matagrill of the Chicago White Sox going to Mr. CEO. And then we have George Brett of the Kansas City Royals going to Mr. CEO as well. Not planning on running that snake, but would love to fill that fast break, the Prism Fast Break 3-team random. There's 3 spots left. At 170, it's priced to move, and then you get 30% off of that. That brings it down to roughly $122. We have Alex Kirilloff, RC of the Twins, followed by Aaron Judge of the Yankees. Ian Anderson of the Atlanta Braves going to be going to Mikey, followed by Joey Votto of Cincinnati. Braxton Garrett of the Miami Marlins going to Mr. CEO. Then we have Greg Maddux, the club edition of the Braves, going to Mikey, followed up by Tyler Stevenson of the Cincinnati Reds to Mr. CEO, and Ryan Mountcastle of the Baltimore Orioles going to Mr. CEO as well. And also our show has a hard stop at 1:30 today because we have a team meeting about the benefits that we have here at Breaktraders right after that. We have Babe Ruth of the Yankees, Dylan Carlson of the St. Louis Cardinals going to Mikey, followed by Rogers Hornsberry of the Cardinals, Jose Ramirez of Cleveland, the Elegance Jackie Robinson of the Brooklyn Dodgers, which is now the Los Angeles Dodgers, heading to Mr. CEO, the Tyler Stevenson's Diamond Kings debut of the Cincinnati Reds, and then Mr. Cal Ripken of the Baltimore Orioles right there. And then it looks like we have our first memorabilia, and it is going to be an Alex Kirilloff rookie patch auto. The dual-colored patch of the Minnesota Twins going to Mike. And I know these Diamond Kings, again, aren't super valuable cards, but we've had some outrageously nice pulls with some of these rookie patch autos out of there over the last few weeks. All right, we have Bobby Dalbec of the Red Sox, followed by Cody Bellinger of the Angels. Then we have Jackie Robinson of the Brooklyn Dodgers, Brandon Lowe of the Rays, Pavin Smith of the Arizona Diamondbacks going to Mr. CEO. Then we have a filler right there, followed up by a Legacy Lithographs, Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers going to Mr. CEO. Al Kaline of the Tigers headed to Michael, and then Christian Pache of the Atlanta Braves, and that is going to be going to Michael as well. Paul Goldschmidt of the Cardinals, the Los Angeles Dodgers, Keibert Ruiz of the Dodgers to Mr. CEO, Joe Sewell of Cleveland, Joey Bart of the San Francisco Giants, heading to Michael, followed up by Mikey Cochran of Philadelphia, the artist palette, Blake Schnell of the Padres going to Michael. Then we have a David Peterson, RC of the New York Mets to Mr. CEO, and Luen Diaz of the Marlins going to Mr. CEO as well. We have Lewis Robert of the White Sox, Keegan Aitken of the Baltimore Orioles, and that's going to Mr. CEO. Then we have Spencer Howard of the Philadelphia Phillies. Spencer Howard of the Phillies going to Doug, followed up by George Sisler of the Cardinals, Roberto Clemente of Pittsburgh. Then we have the Gallery of Stars, Roger Maris of the New York Yankees going to Derek. followed up by Dylan Carlson of the St. Louis Cardinals going to Mikey, and Max Scherzer of the Washington Nationals going to Doug. Andy Young, RC of the Arizona Diamondbacks, and that's going to Mr. CEO, followed by Chris Bryant of the Cubs, Jahmai Jones, RC of the Orioles, going to Mr. CEO, Joe Cronin of the Red Sox, and then we're going to have a little bit of that Diamond Kings debut, and that is the gray portrait, Tyler Stevenson of the Cincinnati Reds, headed to Mr. CEO. Followed up by Albert Pujols of the Dodgers. Albert Pujols of the Dodgers going to go to Mr. CEO as well. Then we have Matt Chapman of the Oakland Athletics and Kyle Lewis of the Seattle Mariners. We have Luis Patino of the Tampa Bay Rays, RC, going to Doug, followed by Lou Gehrig of the Yankees, Bo Bichette of the Toronto Blue Jays, Manny Machado of the Padres, and a Mickey Moyniak, RC, of the Philadelphia Phillies. We have the filler right there. Then we have a legacy lithographs, Vlad Guerrero of the Montreal Expos, now the Washington Nationals, followed up by Alex Baum of the Philadelphia Phillies and Josh Fleming of the Tampa Bay Rays. We have Christy Mathewson of the New York Giants. The New York Giants, make sure that we sort that one correctly there, John. You may want to make a note of that. Christy Mathewson is a New York Giant, which is the San Francisco Giants. Then we have Lucas Giolito of the White Sox, Tony Gwynn of the Padres, Juan Soto of the Nationals, followed up by an aficionado, Nate Pearson of the Toronto Blue Jays. Then we have Jared Olivia of the Pittsburgh Pirates going to Doug, and a Drew Rasmussen, Diamond Kings debut, RC of the Milwaukee Brewers, headed to Mr. CEO. And then our memorabilia, this one going to be a Jersey Kings, Buster Posey of the San Francisco Giants going to Mike. Mike not having a bad break with his memorabilias, for sure. And we got 3 packs left in this one. Edward Olivares of the Kansas City Royals going to Mr. CEO. Harvey Kuhn of the Tigers, followed by Jorge Mateo of the San Diego Padres going to Michael. Joe Jackson of the White Sox, followed by Casey Mize, RC of the Detroit Tigers, headed to Michael. The Gallery of Stars, Bryce Harper of the Phillies, headed to Doug. Jimmy Fox of the Boston Red Sox and Walter Austin of the Angels. We have the Haesung Kim, RC of the Padres. Then we have Adonis Medina of RC of the Phillies, followed by Carl Erskine of the Brooklyn Dodgers, now the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yu Darvish of the San Diego Padres. And then we're going to have our plum portraits. This is a once in a box. And that's Jose Garcia of the Cincinnati Reds, RC, going to Mr. CEO. And then it is Mr. Pee Wee Reese. Pee Wee Reese of the Brooklyn Dodgers, now the Los Angeles Dodgers, going to Mr. CEO. That's artist proofs right there. We have the Diamond Kings debut, Christian Javier of the Houston Astros, going to Mr. CEO. And then Brady Singer of the Royals, and that is going to be going to Mr. CEO as well. Vlad Guerrero of Montreal, which is now the Washington Nationals, Pete Alonso of the Yankees, Christian Javier of Pete Alonso of the Mets, sorry about that. Christian Javier of the Astros, Eddie Stanky of the Dodgers, Cabrian Hayes of Pittsburgh. We have the filler card there, and underneath it is the club, Ken Griffey Jr. of Seattle, followed by Nick Montagrill of the Chicago White Sox, and then we have Dean Kremer of the Baltimore Orioles, and that is going to be going to Mr. CEO. We have Dean Kremer of the Orioles, Nick Madrigal of the White Sox, Cabrian Hayes of Pittsburgh, Christian Javier of Houston, Brady Singer of Kansas City, Christian Javier, Diamond Kings debut of Houston, Adonis Medina of Philadelphia, Hyson Kim of the Padres, Casey Mize of Detroit, Jorge Mateo of San Diego, Edward Olivares of Kansas City, the Diamond Kings debut, Drew Rasmussen of Milwaukee, followed by Jared Olivia of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Josh Fleming of the Tampa Bay Rays, Alex Baum of the Phillies. Then we have Mickey Moniak of the Phillies, Luis Patino of Tampa Bay, Jahmai Jones of the Orioles, Andy Young of Arizona, Dylan Carlson of the St. Louis Cardinals, followed by Spencer Howard of Philadelphia, Keegan Akin of the Orioles, Luis Diaz of Miami, David Peterson of the Mets, Joey Bart of the Giants, Kyber Ruiz of the Dodgers, followed by Christian Pache of Atlanta, Pavin Smith of Arizona, Bobby Dalbec of Boston, Tyler Stevenson of Cincinnati, Dylan Carlson of St. Louis, Ryan Mountcastle of Baltimore, Tyler Stevenson of Cincinnati, Braxton Garrett of Miami, Ian Anderson of Atlanta, Alex Kirilloff of Minnesota, Nick Montagrill of the Chicago White Sox, Esteban Florial of the Yankees, and Daniel Johnson of Cleveland. And then our portraits, we're going to have Aaron Judge and Tyler Stevenson, and then Jose Garcia. Tyler Stevenson of the Reds going to be going to Mr. CEO. Aaron Judge of the Yanks to Derek, and Jose Garcia of the Reds as well going to Mr. CEO. And then we have two memorabilias. We have a Jersey Kings and a rookie patch auto. The rookie patch auto of the Minnesota Twins, Alex Kirilloff, going to Michael. And then we have Buster Posey of the San Francisco Giants going to Michael as well. And there we have it, folks. That is the end of break number 1010. We'll be right back from the hardwood. We're back and ready for some Revolution basketball, but first we've got to do some of our unsolds. Some of our unsolds right here. First, we are going to start the Boston Celtics at $5, increments of $1. Boston Celtics for $5, increments of $1. $5 from Jay for the Celtics. $5 from Jay for the Celtics. Do we have 10? Do we have 6 or 7 for the Celtics? We'll let it figure itself out in the countdown. 30 seconds on the clock. Seven from Michael. 7 from Michael takes it. The PayPal link is in the chat, but you can hold off in case you're going to go after some of these other teams. And the next one's going to be the Los Angeles Lakers, and increments can be in the amount of $1 as well. $10 from T-Man for T-Man, is that for the Lakers or for If it's for the Lakers, just drop it in again. You may be behind. 10 Lakers. 10 Lakers. Perfect. Thank you. 10 is the current high bid for the Lakers, and we will start the countdown. Wowza. T-Man getting that in. 15 from Mr. CEO. And then with just a second remaining, we had T-Man with the 20 anti-snipe bid that was just in before the countdown was complete. Alrighty. The link's in the chat, T-Man, but you can wait until after this next one if you would like. John, when you're ready, I'll put it in. We're ready to go. It's going to be the Grizzlies, and that is in increments of $1, the Memphis Grizzlies. $10 from T-Man. Do we have 11? Or 12? Or 13? You know what? We will figure it out with the countdown. 30 seconds on the clock. $11 from Cynthia. $15 from T-Man. Are we going to get one more in? Alrighty, T-Man takes it with the 15. You see he's got the 15 right there. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Cynthia with 13. Alrighty, the PayPal link is in the chat. And we will do the keyword giveaway for jury here in a second. But first, I want to introduce you all to another Breaktraders mascot. This is Breaktraders Tucker, or Bubs, as I affectionately call him. He's my bestie. He loves his car rides, loves people, so he's hanging out with us in the office today. And now type jury in the chat. Jury in the chat will get you an entry into this giveaway. Jury, can we get the countdown?
Sure. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is J Bank.
J Bank getting the pull, and it is going to be a Mosaic Blaster Pack. And John, can you drop the message to Jay right there about how to let us know his address and stuff? Yeah. Jared Stidham of the Padres, Eddie George of the Titans, the Justin Jefferson RC NFL debut, and then Le'Veon Bell got game. Harry, that was for community. So the community, they made a school flag, and it was an anus. So that's where that came from. Alrighty.
And we're good to go.
We are good to go. Here we go. This is break 1011, the 2020-21 Revolution Basketball One Boxer. Pick your team. Well, that would explain why you didn't get it. I think it's a pretty funny show. But not everyone agrees with my senses of humor. That's for sure. We've got Marvin Bagley III, followed by Tobias Harris of Philadelphia, Kristaps Porzingis of the Mavs, a rookie revolution, Killian Hayes of the Detroit Pistons right there, followed up by Kenyon Martin Jr. of the Houston Rockets. So we've got Killian Hayes going to Josh, and Kenyon Martin Jr. of the Rockets headed to Christy. Childish Gambino is so phenomenal in it. The show really takes a dive when he leaves, for sure. Donovan Mitchell of the Jazz, Zach LaVine of the Bulls, Kemba Walker of the Celtics, and then we're going to have the Groove, Blake Griffin of the Detroit Pistons going to Josh, followed up by a rookie revolution, Josh Green of the Dallas Mavericks going to Michael. Goran Dragic of the Heat, followed by Andrew Wiggins of the Golden State Warriors, Gordon Hayward of the Hornets. We have a supernova, Jimmy Butler, and that's out of 50. The supernova, Jimmy Butler, out of 50, going to Justin with the Miami Heat, followed up by a Jalen Smith RC of the Phoenix Suns, and that is going to Justin. Speaking of the Phoenix Suns, really choked away the game there last night. Choked away the game and the cover, which was gross. That happens. Kevin Huerter of the Hawks, followed by Rui Hachimura of the Wizards. De'Aaron Fox of the Kings, followed by a Giannis Antetokounmpo Giannis of the Milwaukee Bucks. And that is going to be going to Justin, followed by a Shockwave Revolution, Bradley Beal of the Wizards, the Shockwave, and that is going to be going to Mr. CEO. We have Jamal Murray of the Denver Nuggets, followed by Rudy Gobert of the Jazz, Fred VanVleet of the Raptors, Devin Vassell of the San Antonio Spurs going to T-Man, and that is an Astro, followed by Desmond Bane of the Memphis Grizzlies. Desmond Bane of the Grizzlies going to T-Man as well. We have Devonta Graham of the Hornets, followed by Miles Turner of the Pacers, Kobe White of the Bulls. We have the Kawhi Leonard. This is an Astro edition of the Los Angeles Clippers going to Justin. And then a Vortex Revolution Anthony Davis of the Lakers going to T-Man. Kyle Lowry of the Raptors, Kevin Durant of the Brooklyn Nets, Lou Williams of the Clippers, and then we have a Jimmy Butler impact out of 149. We're really pumping the Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat going to Justin today. That an impact edition out of 149, both going to Justin, and then Peyton Pritchard RC of the Celtics going to Michael. We have Yusuf Nurkic of the Trailblazers, followed by CJ McCollum of the Trailblazers, Nikola Jokic of Denver, and then we have a Bradley Beal Astro of the Washington Wizards going to Mr. CEO, and a Vortex Ja Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies going to T-Man. Alrighty, let's run these rookies down right here. We have the Peyton Pritchard of the Boston Celtics to Michael, Desmond Bane of the Grizzlies to T-Man, Devin Vassell, and that is an Astro edition of the Spurs, going to T-Man. Jalen Smith of the Phoenix Suns. The Rookie Revolution, Josh Green of the Mavericks, that Jalen Smith going to Justin, and the Mavericks going to Michael. The Kenyon Martin Jr. of the Rockets going to Christy, and then the Rookie Revolution, Killian Hayes of the Detroit Pistons going to Josh. And now we're on to the featured cards. We have two numbered Jimmy Butlers. We have the Impact out of 149 and the Supernova out of 50. Both of those going to Justin with the Miami Heat. And there you have it, folks. That is the break of end of break 1011. End of break 1011. We'll be right back from BT Field. Alrighty, we're back and we're getting ready for this blaster mixer. But first, we're going to do our keyword, our next show keyword. And it is going to be loft, and you'll have 1 minute. New Girl by Cynthia. New Girl. Cynthia's got it. And here we go. A Contenders football for Cynthia. Jimmy Garoppolo of the 49ers. Joe Flacco of the Broncos. Josh Allen of the Bills. We have Alvin Kamara of the Saints. AJ Bouye of the Jaguars. Chandler Jones of the Cardinals. Evan Ingram of the New York Giants. Julian Edelman of the Patriots. It is another great show. Alrighty, folks, we are going to be back in just 3 minutes because we need to wait to start this for a few minutes here. I think it was scheduled at 1:05. If we start a couple minutes early, that's all right, but we'll be back in 3 minutes. All right, we are back for the sixth boxer. And here we go. It's 1001-2, break 1012, the 2020 Mosaic, Donruss Optic, and Prism Blaster Mixer. So what we do here is we'll have those three boxes that we'll open up shortly. We'll pull the cards from these ones. We'll run through the first three boxes and then open the second. Well, I'm opening those. So, since the breaks that are going to be negatively impacted by this Donruss Elite backup is going to be eBay breaks. What I'm going to do is I'll send everyone the opportunity to either choose to if they want to cancel and get a refund, they can, or what we'll do is I'm going to include a link to a survey to see if they would prefer them to break Wednesday during our happy hour show or Tuesday during our noontime show. And then whatever the majority of people select, we will run with. Alrighty, and here we go, because we have the 8 Mosaic. We're going to open 2 Mosaic first. And we have Julian Edelman, Mark Ingram, TJ Hawkinson of the Lions, and Jason Taylor of the Dolphins right off the bat right there. Yeah, got a good division, but a weak break. Kevin Byard of the Titans, Tiki Barber of the Giants, TJ Watt of the Steelers, and the Touchdown Masters, Adrian Peterson. We have Joey Bosa of the Chargers, DJ Chark of the Jags, Dak Prescott of the Cowboys, and a Kenneth Murray RC of the Chargers. Kenneth Murray of the Chargers. And now on to our first Prism pack of this break. Miles Boykin of the Ravens, Cleveland Farrell of the Raiders, Raheem Mostert of the 49ers, and the orange Jake Fromm of the Buffalo Bills, and that is going to Justin. That Kenneth Murray RC of